everybody, it's Paige Evans. Thanks for joining me for Love Cut File Day 8 of 12, which is a heart garden layout and cut file. So here's the finished page that I made. It's got 3 photos of my kitties, and I used my older Truly Grateful collection. So just like with the previous cut files, I'm going to create the offset pieces in Silhouette, so copying and pasting, releasing the compound path, deleting the outer layer and the inner pieces that I know I won't need. And then I'm actually going to copy and paste these inner pieces as well. I thought about maybe cutting out all of the same sized inner pieces and layering them up. I wasn't exactly sure which direction I wanted to go, but that was my initial thought. So copying and pasting. Then I do decide to just traditionally back the cut file. So I'm going to group the inner pieces and then create the offset. So just want to make sure that the hearts aren't overlapping, and then apply the offset, and you can delete that original inner layer. So then I'm going to turn on the grid, show the grid, and then move the hearts into spaces that I can trim pattern papers to. So you've seen me do this a bunch in the previous videos, and it's best to learn through repetition. So, well, at least for me, that's how I learn, is doing something over and over again. I know there's tons of different learning styles. This is just one of them. So I am using, like I said, my Truly Grateful collection, and I've pulled a rainbow of colors, mostly the solid patterns, and I'm going to trim pattern papers to mirror Silhouette Studio. So if the heart fits in a 1.5-inch square area, I'm going to trim a piece of pattern paper to 1.5 inches square. If the heart fits in a 3-inch square area, I will trim a piece of pattern paper to 3 inches and put it on that exact same spot on the sticky mat that it is in Silhouette Studio. So it's just an easy way to have the Cameo cut out all of the pieces for you instead of doing it by hand. I think this is one of those layouts where it could take just about the same amount of time to cut them out by hand versus the machine. But you know, I enjoy the process any way you slice it, whether it's by hand or by machine. So here I've gone ahead and had the Cameo cut out the pieces, and now I'm peeling off the outer layer that I don't need, and I'm left with the backing pieces. I'm going to place the hearts on top first to make sure I like the way they are going to look once they're backed. I've decided to do it in sort of a rainbow order, not traditional red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, but I'm going to keep the colors clustered together. And I decided that I wanted to replace one of those darker blue hearts with a more mint colored. So I'm just going to grab that heart. This is why I placed the hearts on top first, to make sure I liked everything, and I decided I didn't like this, just one. So this is an easy way to quickly cut out a replacement heart. Just trace it, cut it out with a pair of scissors. So I like this rainbow order, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere them on the back. So I'm going to I thought about using that green paper for some grass at the bottom to kind of anchor the cut file in place, but that was getting ahead of myself. I want to back the cut file first, glue everything in place first. So flip the cut file over, grabbing my favorite liquid glue. It's by Bearly Art. It's got a super thin, tiny nozzle, so even the smallest areas, it can add glue quickly and easily. So I'll add glue around 1 or 2 or 3 hearts at a time and press the backing piece in place, and it dries pretty quickly. Alternatively, you could use foam squares to attach these hearts in place and create some depth and shadows. I really love the look of using foam squares instead of directly backing them. Just makes it more 3D instead of 2D. So it looks like I didn't cut the square for this heart to the right size. I should have made it about a 1/2 inch bigger, but no worries. I just hand cut another one out of the scrap of paper that I used in the first place, and we are good to go. Hello, Jill. coming to investigate what I'm doing. I'm not even doing any mixed media yet, silly kitty. So continuing on, gonna back the cut file. So I've loved seeing all the projects that you've created with these cut files so far. Be sure to share them in my Happy Scrappy Place Facebook group, and the link for that is in the description. Ta-da! So I've got my heart garden and I am ready to create the layout. So I've grabbed this mint textured cardstock from American Crafts, and I'm going to attach the cut file onto the background using foam squares for that depth and shadows. Scrapbooking is very 2D, very flat, so by using foam squares I can create some layers of depth, and it's just fun to look at from every angle. Just adding 1 or 2 or 3 foam squares onto the back of every heart and flipping it over and placing it almost touching the bottom edge, but leaving just about a 1/4 inch so that they are floating on the background. And then I'm attaching the stems, if you will, onto the background using a dab of liquid glue. So now the cut file is not going anywhere. You could also add machine stitching to the cut file before adhering it in place. Machine stitch all those stems, or if you're super ambitious, you could add hand stitching. That's always an extra oomph factor. Next step is adding photos. I've printed 3 pictures to 3 by 4 inches, or maybe 2.5 by 3.5 of my kitty cats, and I'm going to tuck them into the heart garden mix across here at the top, so tucking them underneath the hearts, not covering up anything too important, so then the photos become part of the design, and going to embellish with Truly Grateful. So I'm grabbing the thickers, and the title is going to be Perfect. Get it? Because cats purr. And I didn't want to fit all of them. I think that the letters were too big for the heart, so rather than adding the FECT, I grabbed the epoxy puffy word stickers. And this is one of those products where I like to have at least 2, one that I can use as is and one where I can pull the letters and mix and match and create my own letters. So I didn't even have any C's, so I had to trim one of the letters down to make it look like a C. And then I'm grabbing a few more words and placing them tone on tone in 3 spots, all words that I feel like go along with my feelings towards my kitty cats. So love, joy, heart, and placing them tone on tone. So the mint on a mint heart, green on a green heart, fuchsia on a fuchsia heart. And then also grabbing some of the smallest florals from the floral die cut pack and placing those in the rainbow order that I've placed, or that I've backed the hearts. Not gluing them down yet, want to make sure I like the placement, so I usually take a picture with my phone and look at it from that screen to see if there's anything wonky or anything that I want to fix before gluing anything down. Down here on the bottom right, I'm going to create a cluster with a subtitle, a banner, sentiment die cut that says Happy Place, and I've tucked a mint journaling spot underneath, so that's where I can write my journaling at the end. From these puffy stickers, there are some colorful hearts, so I can add those tone on tone in places. Red heart on a red section, yellow heart on a yellow section, as I've been doing with the previous embellishments. And then from the puffy stickers, there are teeny tiny colorful dots, so I'm going to sprinkle those into the mix as well for the final bit of eye candy and pop of color. So now I'm going to draw some journaling lines and cross my fingers and toes that I can make them pretty straight, and then write my journaling on top of those drawn lines with the same pen. This is just a .03 black precision pen from Journal Studio, American Crafts. Just writing some thoughts and feelings about my kitty cats. I adore them and they are perfect. All right, anything else? I'm going to finish it up with a splattering of white acrylic paint. I think that this just ties it all together, connects it all together by having this finishing touch of white acrylic paint splattered across the background. That, my friends, is the finished layout, so I'll bring it up to the camera so you can see all the little details and the depth and the texture and the dimension. And I hope you are inspired to use this cut file. You can grab my 12 Days of Love cut files. I've got a link in the description. I've got a link to the digital collection for Truly Grateful. And yeah, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. I will see you again tomorrow with another process video for the mini album file in this bundle of love cut files. I'm super excited about it. All right, see you tomorrow. Have a great day.